The signal. Admiral Sarah Chen stood at the window of Lunar Base Alpha, her eyes fixed on the pale blue marble of Earth hanging in the distance. 20 years of leading humanity's deep space monitoring program had prepared her for many things, but not for this moment. Not for the weight of the decision that now rested on her shoulders. Admiral. Lieutenant Patel's voice crackled through her earpiece. The quantum array has confirmed it. The transmission is genuine. Chen closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. For centuries, humanity had wondered if they were alone in the universe. Now they knew the truth. Not only were they not alone, but they had accidentally stumbled upon something that would change everything. 3 days ago, the quantum array had intercepted a transmission that shouldn't have existed. It was encrypted with technology far beyond anything humanity had ever seen, yet somehow, their experimental quantum computers had cracked it. The message revealed the existence of the Galactic Alliance, a confederation of advanced civilizations that had been watching Earth for centuries, keeping humanity ignorant of their presence. "Have you verified the coordinates?" Chen asked, turning away from the window. "Yes, Admiral. The transmission originated from what they call the Central Hub, approximately 300 light-years from Earth. It contains detailed plans for their observation posts throughout our solar system." Chen walked to the central command table, where a holographic display showed the positions of these hidden outposts. They had been there all along, cloaked satellites, automated probes, and monitoring stations disguised as asteroids. The Alliance had been studying humanity like specimens in a zoo, never dreaming that their subjects would discover their presence. "What's the status of Project Phoenix?" she asked, her fingers tracing the holographic orbital paths. Lieutenant Patel pulled up another display. "The quantum shield network is at 89% completion. The nanotech defense grid is fully operational, and the antimatter production facilities on Mars are running at peak efficiency." For generations, humanity had been preparing for first contact, but not in the way anyone expected. While governments publicly denied the existence of aliens, a secret coalition of nations have been working together, developing technologies that merged quantum mechanics, artificial intelligence, and human ingenuity in ways that defied conventional scientific understanding. "They think we're primitive," Chen said, a slight smile playing at the corners of her mouth. "They see our public space program, our petty conflicts, our seemingly primitive technology. But they never wondered why we advanced so quickly in some areas while appearing to stagnate in others." The truth was, humanity had detected traces of the Alliance's presence decades ago. Instead of announcing this discovery, Earth's leaders had made an unprecedented decision: to keep advancing in secret, to let the Alliance think they were just another developing civilization, while preparing for the day they would need to defend themselves. "Admiral," Patel said hesitantly, "the Security Council is waiting for your recommendation. Do we maintain our cover, or do we reveal that we know?" Chen studied the holographic display one last time. The Alliance's message had revealed something crucial. They were preparing to uplift humanity, to formally introduce themselves, and begin the process of integrating Earth into their civilization. But their plans made it clear they intended to treat humans as junior partners, as children to be guided and controlled. "Send the message," Chen said finally, "the one we prepared." Patel's fingers flew over his console. In every hidden Alliance observation post throughout the solar system, quantum-encrypted firewalls suddenly engage, locking out their controllers. And in the central hub of the Galactic Alliance, a simple message would appear: "We see you. We know you're watching. And we are not your children." In the silence that followed, Chen watched Earth rotating slowly in the distance. Humanity had just announced their presence to the galaxy in a way no one had ever done before, not with peaceful greetings or displays of force, but by showing they had already outmaneuvered their observers. "And now," Chen murmured, "we wait to see how they respond." The quantum array hummed quietly in the background, ready to intercept the Alliance's reaction. Humanity had just changed the rules of a game that had been played the same way for millennia. The galaxy would never be the same. Hidden strength. High Counselor Xarith of the Galactic Alliance stood motionless before the grand viewing window of the central hub, his crystalline form refracting the starlight. The message from Earth had sent shockwaves through the Alliance's carefully ordered society. In 12,000 years of conducting species observations, nothing like this had ever happened. Impossible, muttered Council Member Darien, his tentacles writhing in agitation. Their technology is centuries behind ours. They shouldn't even be able to detect our observation posts, let alone hack them. And yet, Xarith responded, his voice resonating like wind through crystal. They did exactly that. The question is not how, but what else they have been hiding. The emergency session of the High Council had been running for 3 standard cycles. Representatives from 50 of the most advanced civilizations in the known galaxy had gathered to address what many were calling the greatest intelligence failure in Alliance history. "Show me their development timeline again," Xarith commanded. A holographic display materialized in the center of the chamber, showing Earth's technological progression over the past 3 centuries. What had seemed like a normal advancement curve now took on a different meaning as analysts highlighted suspicious patterns. "Look here," said Analyst First Class Corel, pointing to various points in the timeline. "Their progress in certain areas follows an unusual pattern. They make breakthrough discoveries in quantum mechanics, then appear to abandon promising research directions. They develop basic AI systems, then implement inexplicably restrictive regulations. They achieve fusion power, then continue relying on fossil fuels. It wasn't abandonment or restriction." Xarith realized, his crystalline structure pulsing with deep blues of comprehension. It was misdirection. They knew we were watching. The implications were staggering. While the Alliance had been smugly observing what they thought was a primitive species stumbling toward the stars, humanity had been carefully orchestrating a show for their benefit. Every public failure, every apparent limitation, had been carefully calculated to maintain their facade of technological inferiority. "We've detected massive energy signatures from their Mars facilities," reported Security Director Venn. "They're not mining operations, as we assumed. They're antimatter production plants. And the asteroid belt. Those aren't random mining stations. It's a massive defensive grid." Xarith moved closer to the holographic display, studying the real-time data now pouring in as their surveillance systems were reoriented to penetrate humanity's deception. The picture it painted was both impressive and terrifying. "Their quantum shield technology," Corel continued, "it's unlike anything in our database. They're not following standard development paths. They've merged quantum mechanics with their primitive digital systems in ways we never considered possible. It's elegant in its simplicity, yet incredibly advanced in its application." "And their AI systems?" asked Darien, his tentacles now perfectly still with tension. "That's perhaps most surprising of all," Corel replied. "They didn't create artificial general intelligence as we did. Instead, they developed specialized AI systems that work in perfect harmony with human consciousness. They're not replacing human decision-making. They're enhancing it. The efficiency is remarkable." Xarith raised a crystalline appendage, silencing the growing murmurs in the chamber. They'd been preparing for first contact, but not as supplicants or students. They'd been preparing for a confrontation they knew would come eventually. The silence in the chamber was deafening. The Alliance had never faced a situation like this. Their protocols for integrating new species were based on technological superiority and benevolent guidance. But humanity had just demonstrated they neither needed nor wanted such guidance. "There's more," Security Director Venn added grimly. "We've detected quantum communication signals between Earth and several points outside our standard observation zone. They're not just defending their solar system. They're already reaching out into the galaxy." Xarith's crystalline form pulsed with colors of deep contemplation. The humans hadn't just hidden their true capabilities. They had already begun expanding beyond their home system in ways the Alliance hadn't detected. They weren't just ready for first contact. They were ready to take their place among the stars on their own terms. "We have two options," Sareth announced to the council. "We can treat this as a hostile action and respond accordingly." He paused, his form shifting to deeper hues. "Or we can acknowledge that we have severely underestimated this species and attempt to establish diplomatic relations as equals." The council chamber erupted in debate. Some members called for immediate military action to contain the human threat. Others argued for peaceful contact, intrigued by humanity's demonstration of innovation and strategic thinking. As the arguments raged around him, Sareth continued studying the holographic display of Earth's true technological achievements. Something told him that humanity's message wasn't just a demonstration of their capabilities. It was a test. How the Alliance responded would determine the future relationship between their civilizations. And somehow, Sareth suspected, humanity was already several steps ahead in this cosmic chess game. The chess game. Dr. Maya Rodriguez adjusted her neural interface as she studied the quantum probability matrices floating before her. As Earth's leading expert in xenopolitical game theory, she had spent years preparing for this moment. The Alliance's response to humanity's revelation would come within hours, and every possible scenario needed to be anticipated. "They're moving their 7th Fleet toward the Arcturus sector," reported Captain James Wong, his holographic form flickering beside her workstation in the Titan Strategic Command Center. "Standard patrol pattern, but their energy signatures are anything but standard." Maya nodded, watching as the AI-enhanced simulations adjusted their predictions. "They're trying to look casual while positioning for a potential strike. Classic power play. How are our deep space arrays reading their quantum signatures?" "That's the interesting part," Wong replied, pulling up another data stream. "Their ships are running hot on traditional sensors, but their quantum signatures tell a different story. They're scared." The massive underground facility on Titan had become humanity's center for strategic operations, while Earth's public face remained calm and unchanged beneath the icy surface of Saturn's largest moon. Humanity's best minds were orchestrating a delicate dance of power and perception. "Admiral Chen's gambit is working," Maya mused, watching the probability streams shift and flow. "By revealing our awareness of their presence without showing our full capabilities, we've forced them to operate blind. They don't know if we're stronger than them, weaker, or exactly their match." The holographic displays suddenly shifted, showing new data from the Quantum Entanglement Network. The Alliance was making its first official move. "They're broadcasting on all frequencies," Wong announced. "Standard diplomatic protocols. They're requesting direct communication." Maya's fingers danced through the holographic interface, analyzing the transmission. "Notice how they're using their old encryption methods. They know we cracked them, but they're pretending we didn't. Interesting. Should we respond using their protocols?" Wong asked. "No," Maya smiled. "Let's show them something new. Initiate Protocol Prometheus." Throughout the solar system, quantum processors hummed to life. The response humanity sent wasn't just a message, it was a demonstration. The transmission utilized an entirely new form of quantum communication, one that made the Alliance's most secure protocols look primitive by comparison. The message was simple. The people of Earth welcome diplomatic dialogue with the Galactic Alliance. We propose a neutral meeting point at the following coordinates. Our representatives will arrive in 3 standard cycles. They'll expect a trap, Wong noted. Of course they will, Maya agreed. Just as we would in their position. That's why we're not giving them time to prepare elaborate countermeasures. 3 cycles is just long enough to be respectful, but too short for significant military preparation. The response came faster than expected. The Alliance agreed to the meeting, but with a condition. They wanted to send an advance team to scan the location for safety. Maya's eyes sparkled. Predictable. Authorize their scan team, but use the Phantom Grid. The Phantom Grid was one of humanity's most closely guarded secrets, a network of quantum-shifted space that could appear completely normal under any scan, while hiding massive infrastructure just microseconds out of phase with normal spacetime. What if they detect it? Wong asked. They won't, Maya assured him, because we're not hiding anything threatening. The Phantom Grid will be holding something far more powerful than weapons, a demonstration of human hospitality. Over the next hours, humanity's hidden capabilities were carefully orchestrated in a grand strategic ballet. While the Alliance's scan team found nothing suspicious at the meeting coordinates, humans were preparing a diplomatic reception that would challenge everything the Alliance thought they knew about Earth. The interesting thing about chess, Maya said as she made final adjustments to the plan, isn't just about the moves you make. It's about the moves you make possible. Every position, every piece, creates new opportunities and threats. The true game isn't played on the board. It's played in the minds of the players. The holographic displays showed Alliance ships beginning to gather at the designated coordinates. Their formation was careful, defensive, clearly prepared for any possibility except the one humanity had planned. They're expecting either a show of force or a demonstration of submission, Maya observed. We're going to show them something entirely different, the power of human creativity. As the final preparations were made, quantum signals pulsed through the Phantom Grid, coordinating the most ambitious first contact scenario in human history. The Alliance was about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their hidden technology or strategic planning. It was their ability to think in ways that no other species had considered. All pieces are in position, Wong reported. The board is set. Maya nodded, initiating the final sequence. Then let's show them how humans play the game. Breaking point. High Counselor Xareth stood in stunned silence aboard the Alliance diplomatic vessel Eternal Dawn. Before him, through the quantum-enhanced viewing screens, was something that challenged everything he thought he knew about humanity's capabilities. The humans had transformed the neutral meeting point into something unprecedented. A massive structure hung in space, its architecture an impossible blend of beauty and function. It wasn't just a space station. It was a work of art that simultaneously served as a testament to human engineering and a gesture of peaceful intention. It wasn't here when our scan team arrived. Security Director Ven insisted, his tentacles twitching with agitation. They built this in less than a cycle. It's impossible. Clearly, Xareth responded, his crystalline form shifting through shades of wonder and concern. We need to revise our definition of impossible. The human structure, which they were calling the Concordia, seemed to dance with light. Its surfaces rippled with quantum-shifted materials that adapted to the viewer's perceptual abilities, making it equally beautiful to every species present. The humans are hailing us, announced Communications Officer Tilara. They're ready to receive the diplomatic delegation. Inside the Alliance vessel, the tension was palpable. The council members present were divided. Some, like Xareth, were fascinated by humanity's innovative approach. Others, led by the militant council member Darian, saw each human achievement as a growing threat. This is precisely why we should have acted immediately, Darian argued, his tentacles gesturing at the display. Every moment we wait, they demonstrate more capabilities we didn't know they had. They're making us look foolish. They're making us look presumptuous, corrected council member Lyra, her energy form pulsing with subtle patterns, which, frankly, we were. We assumed our way was the only way to advance technologically. These humans are proving otherwise. The internal debate was interrupted by a new transmission from the Concordia. The humans had prepared individual reception areas for each species, perfectly tailored to their biological and psychological needs. They had studied their observers well. How do they know? Ven demanded. The environmental requirements of some council species are among our most closely guarded secrets. Perhaps, Lyra suggested, we should ask them. As the delegation prepared to board the Concordia, the divisions within the Alliance became even more apparent. The humans had somehow managed to create exactly the right circumstances to expose the philosophical fractures that had been growing within the Alliance for millennia. Inside the Concordia, the human delegation waited, led by Admiral Chen and Dr. Rodriguez. They had prepared for this moment with characteristic thoroughness, but also with a uniquely human touch of improvisation. They're struggling with internal conflicts, Maya observed through her neural interface, watching the quantum readings from the Alliance vessel. Their rigid hierarchy is battling with curiosity. Good, Chen replied. A united alliance might feel compelled to maintain their traditional approach. A divided one will have to consider new possibilities. The Alliance delegation finally emerged from their vessel, a striking collection of diverse species. Sarith led them, his crystalline form refracting the Concordia's adaptive lighting in spectacular patterns. Welcome to Concordia. Admiral Chen greeted them, using a quantum translation field that conveyed not just words but cultural context and emotional nuance. We hope this venue demonstrates our sincere desire for peaceful dialogue between equals. Darian moved forward aggressively. Equals. You've hidden your true nature from us for generations. How can there be trust between us? With respect, Maya interjected smoothly. We simply chose a different path to joining the galactic community. Rather than wait to be uplifted, we uplifted ourselves. Rather than accept the role of students, we became our own teachers. The statement sent ripples through the Alliance delegation. Some members bristled at the implied criticism of their traditional methods, while others showed signs of thoughtful consideration. And what role do you envision for yourselves in the galaxy? Sarith asked, his tone carefully neutral. Chen smiled. That's precisely what we're here to discuss. But first, we'd like to share something with you. A demonstration of how humanity approaches problem solving. We think you'll find it illuminating. As they led the delegation deeper into the Concordia, the Alliance members found themselves confronting a fundamental question. Was humanity's unexpected rise a threat to their established order, or was it an opportunity to evolve beyond it? The answer would determine not just the future of human-alliance relations, but the very nature of galactic civilization itself. New Dawn, the heart of the Concordia station, pulsed with an energy that even the most advanced Alliance sensors struggled to comprehend. Admiral Chen and Dr. Rodriguez had led their guests to a vast chamber that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once, its walls shifting with patterns that told the story of human history and achievement. What we're about to show you, Maya announced to the assembled Alliance delegation, is not just a demonstration of technology. It's a demonstration of possibility. With a gesture, she activated the chamber's central feature. The space filled with a holographic display unlike anything the Alliance had ever seen. A perfect, real-time representation of the entire known galaxy, including areas the Alliance had never successfully mapped. Impossible, whispered Darian. Some of these regions are protected by natural phenomena that prevent scanning. Unless, Sarith realized, his crystalline form vibrating with excitement, you approach the problem differently. Chen nodded. We didn't try to scan through the barriers. We learned to scan around them, using quantum entanglement in ways your scientists dismissed as impossible. We found that the laws of physics are more flexible than anyone imagined, if you're willing to think creatively. The display shifted, showing how humanity had secretly established observation posts throughout the galaxy, using technologies that worked on principles the Alliance had never considered. But instead of weapon installations or military outposts, these stations were research facilities, diplomatic outreach centers, and cultural exchange points, all waiting to be activated. You've been preparing for peaceful contact all along, Lyra observed, her energy form pulsing with understanding. The defensive capabilities we detected were exactly that, defensive, Maya confirmed. We prepared for the worst while hoping for the best. Humanity has no interest in domination or control. We want to be partners, not rulers or subjects. The chamber shifted again, and now the Alliance members found themselves immersed in a direct neural interface with the station's quantum AI network. It was unlike anything they had experienced, not an artificial intelligence as they understood it, but a symphony of human and machine consciousness working in perfect harmony. This is how we solve problems, Chen explained. Not by forcing technology to serve us, or by serving technology, but by finding ways to work together that enhance both human and artificial potential. We call it the synthesis. Xarith moved forward, his crystalline structure refracting the chamber's light in cascading patterns. You're proposing to share this technology. We're proposing something more, Maya replied. We're proposing a new way forward for all species. The Alliance has maintained order through hierarchy and control. We suggest an alternative, a galaxy united by cooperation and innovation. The chamber filled with new images, plans for joint human alliance research projects, cultural exchange programs, and collaborative exploration initiatives. But most importantly, it showed a new political structure where no species dominated another, where advancement came through cooperation rather than control. The old way isn't working anymore, Chen stated simply. Your own internal conflicts prove that. The galaxy is too vast, too diverse for any one system to control it all. But together, we can build something better. The Alliance delegation erupted in discussion. Some, like Darien, argued that accepting human ideas would destroy millennia of tradition. Others, led by Xarith and Lyra, saw the potential for evolution and growth. Change is frightening, Maya acknowledged. But consider this, humanity went from horse-drawn carriages to quantum space travel in less than 5 centuries. We did it by embracing change, by daring to imagine new possibilities. Imagine what all our species could achieve together. The debate raged for hours, but in the end, the outcome was inevitable. The Alliance had been stagnating, bound by its own traditions and hierarchies. Humanity offered not just new technology, but a new vision, a way to break free from old limitations and explore new frontiers. One by one, the Alliance members voted. The final tally wasn't even close. 3 months later, the Galactic Cooperative was born. The Alliance didn't end. It evolved. Humanity's approach to problem-solving and innovation spread throughout galactic civilization, sparking a renaissance of culture, science, and exploration. On Earth, Admiral Chen stood at her old spot by the window of Lunar Base Alpha, looking out at her home planet. "Do you think we did the right thing?" she asked Maya, who stood beside her. Maya smiled, watching ships from a dozen worlds moving through space, carrying diplomats and scientists eager to learn and share. We did the human thing. We saw a problem. We found a creative solution, and we brought people together to make it work. That's what we do best. In the distance, a new structure was taking shape, the headquarters of the Galactic Cooperative, a symbol of the new era humanity had helped create. It wasn't just a political center. It was a testament to what was possible when different species came together as equals, each contributing their unique strengths to a greater whole. The galaxy was entering a new dawn. And for once, the future wasn't just bright. It was brilliant with possibilities that no single species could have imagined alone.